Assistant Professor, Department of Rachna Sharir, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, Jayoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. Today we will study about anatomy of spleen. Spleen is very important organ included in lymphatic system. Let's see. Spleen general features. The location of spleen is left hypochondrium and partially in epigastrium, and it is wedge-shaped organ and situated between stomach and diaphragm. The shape of spleen is tetrahedral. So this is ninth region of abdomen. So the spleen located in left hypochondrium region and some in epigastrium. This shape of spleen is tetrahedral and wedge shaped, and the situation between stomach and diaphragm. This is diaphragm and this could be part of stomach. So diaphragm and stomach, this is situated as spleen. This is spleen. The measurement of spleen is in soft nature and highly vascular organ. The color is dark purple. The only organs in our body which color is dark purple. Size and weight vary person to person, but average weight is 7 ounce, and the measurement of spleen is this: 1 inch thick, 3 inch in broad, and 5 inch in long. So the spleen related to 9 to 10 ribs. So we can memorize the dimension of spleen in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11. These are odd numbers. 1 means 1 inch thick, 3 means 3 inch broad, 5 means 5 inch long, 7 means 7 ounce its weight, and 9 and 11 is 9 to 11 ribs. This is relation of spleen. So this is a very important memory for your mnemonics. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. The position, the axis of spleen. This is lies obliquely and the long axis of 10th rib. The direction is directed downward, forward and laterally. This could be downward, forward and laterally. This could be spleen direction, downward and then forward and to the laterally, and making 45 degrees about horizontal plane. In the image we can see clearly this is umbilical region, this is left hypochondrium and this is epigastrium. So this is the position of spleen just behind the stomach. and this is, we can see, this is the dome of diaphragm, left dome of diaphragm. Spleen situated in left side, so you can use in left dome of diaphragm and between left dome of diaphragm and fundus of stomach. This is the situation of spleen. Some features are present in this image, this is 9th rib, 10th rib, 11th rib, and lies between 9 to 10th, 11th rib, and long axis of 10th rib. This is the posterior end and this is anterior end. This is superior border and this is inferior border, and this is the mid axillary line. External features: spleen has two ends, we can see anterior and posterior, three border, superior, inferior and intermediate border. Two surfaces, two angles and one hilum. Two ends, this is anterior or lateral end and posterior or medial end. Anterior end expand and more likely a border. The direction is directed downward and forward and reach the mid axillary line. And posterior is rounded. Anterior is expanded and more like to border, but anterior is expanded and more like to border, but posterior is rounded and directed upward, backward and to the medially, and rest of the upper pole of the left kidney. It lies upon the kidney. The three border is superior border, inferior border and intermediate border. Superior border correctly notched near the anterior end, lies in the anterior end. Inferior border is rounded and intermediate borders present between superior and inferior and directed to right. The two surfaces are visceral surfaces, which is concave and irregular, and second is diaphragmatic surface, which is convex and smooth. Two angles, this one anterobasal angle and posterobasal angle. Anterobasal angle, it is the junction of superior border with lateral or anterior end, superior border and anterior end. This angle is anterobasal angle. During the enlargement of spleen, this is projecting, so this angle is also called clinical angle of spleen. Next is posterobasal, the junction of inferior border with lateral or anterior end of the spleen. This is inferior border and lateral end. This is this angle called posterobasal. This is anterobasal. Hilum. Hilum lies superior and inferior border, and it is pierced by branches and tributaries of splenic vessels. Like lungs, spleen has also a hilum. in which many structures are passing through this, and the position is between superior and intermediate border. Relationship. So we can see peritoneal relation. Spleen suspended by following ligaments. The first ligament, gastrosplenic. Name is gastro and splenic. So it extends from hilum of spleen to the greater curvature of stomach. This is stomach and this is spleen. So hilum, this could be hilum of spleen, and this is greater curvature of stomach. So between greater curvature of stomach and hilum of spleen, there is a ligament called gastrosplenic ligament. Second is linorenal ligament, extend from the hilum of spleen to the anterior surface of left kidney. The kidney was this lies on kidney. So hilum and anterior surface. This could be anterior surface. So between hilum of spleen and anterior surface of kidney, there is a ligament called linorenal ligament. Next is phrenicocholic ligament. This is not related to spleen, but this support the anterior end. Phrenicocholic means phrenic and colic. Between phrenic and colic, there is ligament is phrenicocholic ligament. In image, we can see this is stomach and this is spleen. So this could be hilum of spleen. So this is greater curvature, this is lesser curvature. So between greater curvature and hilum of spleen, there is ligament. This is gastrosplenic. Just this is left kidney. Between left kidney and hilum of spleen, there is also a ligament called linorenal ligament. The position of spleen can be seen here clearly. This is the position is 9 to 11th ribs, and this is diaphragm. Second surface is visceral surface. Next is visceral surface. After that, we can discuss about diaphragmatic surface. Visceral surface has many impressions for many structures or many organs. The surface related to fundus of stomach, the anterior surface of left kidney, the splenic flexure of colon and tail of pancreas. So because of this relation, some impression present are on spleen. The first impression is gastric impression because of fundus of stomach. So it is lies between superior and intermediate border, and it is largest and most concave impression of the spleen. Second is renal spleen because of left kidney, anterior surface of left kidney. Lies between inferior and intermediate border. Next is colic impression because of splenic flexure of colon. This is important. Splenic flexure of colon occupies triangular area adjoining the anterior end of spleen. Next is pancreatic impression. Due to the tail of pancreas lies between the hilum and the colic impression. Next is hilum, situated in intermediate border and in inferomedial part of gastric impression, along with long axis of spleen. It transmits the splenic vessels, nerves, and provide attachment to the gastrosplenic and lienorenal ligament. So this is image of relation of spleen. So this is anterior in and this is posterior in, and this part is called hilum of spleen. We can see there is splenic artery or enter in hilum of spleen, and splenic vein was also there. Next, this is impression for pancreas. This is tail of pancreas, and because of this there is impression in spleen called pancreatic impression. At the anterior border, anterior end of the spleen, there is impression for splenic flexure. This is transverse colon, this is descending colon, and this is the flexure called splenic flexure of colon. So due to splenic flexure of colon, there is impression of spleen called splenic colonic impression. And this is left kidney. See how spleen lies on left kidney. This is the part of hole, this is the part of left kidney. So the anterior surface of kidney, there is impression on spleen in its inferior part. So because of this impression, this called is left kidney or renal impression. Next is diaphragmatic surface. The diaphragmatic surface is related to diaphragm, which separate the spleen from costodiaphragmatic recesses of pleura, lungs, and 9 to 11 ribs of the left side. Next is arterial supply. The spleen is supplied by the splenic artery, which is largest branch of celiac trunk. Supplied by splenic artery, which is largest branch of celiac trunk. Venous drainage. Splenic vein is formed at the hilum of spleen. In hilum of spleen we found splenic vein. This splenic vein finally joined to superior mesenteric vein behind the neck of pancreas to form the portal vein. Lymphatic drainage. Mostly the splenic tissue has no lymphatics. This is very important for your competitive exam. Spleen has no lymphatics, but few lymphatics arise from the connective tissue of the capsule and trabeculae and drain into the pancreato-splenic lymph nodes. Pancreatico-splenic lymph nodes situated along the splenic artery. But inside splenic tissue there is no lymphatics. This is outside of lymphatics. Nerve supply. Sympathetic fibers derived from celiac plexus. This is vasomotor in nature. Next function of spleen is phagocytosis. Phagocytosis, and this is a action when body responds to any foreign body. The WBC attack to any foreign bodies is called phagocytosis. Next work is hematopoiesis, means formation of blood. So spleen is responsible for formation of blood or hematopoiesis. Next is immune response and storage of RBCs. Spleen is storage of RBCs. Clinical anatomy, palpation of spleen. Normally, spleen is not palpable, but in enlarged case, enlarged spleen, we can palpate under the left costal margin during inspiration. During inspiration, we can palpate in left costal margin. Splenomegaly means enlargement of spleen is called splenomegaly. So this image we can see the enlargement of spleen. The first we can felt this during near costal margin is mild enlargement. Then after whole epigastrium and umbilical region, and this is moderate enlargement, and this is severe enlargement beyond umbilical region and sometimes right hypogastrium. This is severe enlargement of spleen. And due to splenic pathology, any pathology, there is a referred pen fill in left shoulder. So this is called splenic pen. Splenectomy. Surgical removal of spleen is called splenectomy. So this is in relationship we have seen. This is spleen and this is the tail of pancreas in near hilum. So when splenectomy procedure of splenectomy, it is important to know about the position of tail of pancreas, because if tail of pancreas was damaged, so it could be lead to damage of islets of Langerhans, because the tail is rich in islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans damage can lead to diabetes mellitus, because islets of Langerhans secrete enzymes which inhibit the insulin. Next is splenic puncture. When a splenic puncture is to be performed in 5th to 9th intercostal space in mid-axillary line by lumbar puncture ladle. The position is 5th to 9th intercostal space in mid-axillary line. Splenic venography is a pressure record mechanism for portal hypertension. In case of portal hypertension, we can measure by splenic venography. Splenic infarction. There is smaller branches of splenic artery and these are end arteries, and there any obstruction of embolism can cause referred pain to the shoulder and this called splenic infarction. This sign known as Care's sign. This is a references. Next we will study about pancreas. Thank you.